Well, hey, we're back at it today. Working on number 30. What are we looking at? 32? 32 it is. You guys know this one, the round one with the two circles in the side. Pretty straightforward. It's going to look a little different, three view. So we're doing three view this time. All right, let's get started. As you can see, I have my border, my nameplate, my Lucky L, and we're ready to start drafting. Number 32 is always drawn the same way. I don't have a Lucky L. Let me stick that on real quick. So I'm going to go up a half inch. Up a half inch and over a half inch. So up for my nameplate, over for my border. And again, these are going to be super light lines because they are construction lines used to build the drawing and will probably end up getting erased. Well, a good amount of them will. I know that. So there is my Lucky L. All right, so what I need to do is I need to put those two crosses that are in the middle of the circles first. And I know that they are 1 1/4 over and 1 1/2 over. And I know that from when I drew this 3D, I did that. I stared at this a long time to figure out those measurements. So I have two vertical lines. Those are the uprights in the cross. And then I need to come from the bottom because it says it has a 1 1/4 radius. We're going to come up 1 1/4, put a little mark. And that's going to draw us those horizontal line there that is going to do the other part of the cross. So what I'm doing right now is I'm digging out my circle template. I know you don't have one. Use your compass. And again, don't use the scale that's on the compass. Those are never accurate. They never work. So what I do is I either take my scale and put the stabby part at 0, and then just adjust it to 1 1/4 using my scale. That's one way to do it. The other thing I can do is I can simply take my compass and put the stabby part on the first cross and make sure when I do this that my compass touches both the bottom of the Lucky L and the left side. And again, I'm going to come in from the center of each cross. I'm going to draw those two radiuses on the end like such. That was pretty easy. And then I'm going to come in and connect them with a line that touches the very top of those circles. A line there, and the same thing at the bottom. We're just darkening up the part of the Lucky L there, and that gives us our outside shape. I can now come in and erase this part of the Lucky L down here because we don't need it, right? That's no needed anymore. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to throw a couple circles in. Again, you could use a compass and set it to 0.75 is 7/8. And so if you're going to use a compass, half of 7/8 is 7/16. So you can take a compass, set it to 7/16 to make those circles, or you can cheat like I'm doing and you can use a circle template. I just happen to have one here, and so to make the video a little quicker, I'm going to use it. Either one is perfectly acceptable. The circle template is easier because you're just tracing, and number two, you don't have to adjust it, and they usually work out pretty well. So hey, there's my front view. Done, finished, complete. I'm going to go ahead and erase these crosses that are in here. Don't need to be there. So I can erase them. I tend to leave the cross inside the circle. And the reason I do that is so people can kind of figure out how to draw this or how to make this. So if somebody was going to build this out of wood or metal or plastic or something like that, it would be nice to know the whole thing is referenced off those center crosses. So if you leave them there, it gives them that hint. It gives them that little piece of information. Okay. So now we're ready to start on our top view and our side view. So I'm going to come up a half inch and put a mark. And I know they're 1.5 inches thick. So now I'm going to go up another 1.5 inches. Okay, so you see I got a couple dots there. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go over a half inch, and then I'm going to go back 1.5 and put a couple lines there. That is going to give me the ability to draw that line and that line, as well as this one on the side view and this one on the side view. I kind of doing the side and top simultaneously, so don't let that confuse you. I need to tell you how tall the end view is here. So if I come up here and set my compass on the top of my front view, I can use that to measure how tall my side view is, right? So that worked out pretty well. Now you know how tall my side view is. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to erase The part of the Lucky L down here I didn't use. Now I'm not quite finished with my side view, but this is a good time to erase that Lucky L because I don't want to forget and leave it in there, okay? Hey, let's do the top view now. I'm going to come in, and again, if I set my compass or my pencil at the outside edge of my front view, voila, that is going to measure my top view, okay? And then I'm going to erase these little tails or extra lines that I have, and then I'm going to take this opportunity to come back in and get rid of the Lucky L over here. This be a good time to come in and darken everything up super dark. Not only because that's the right thing to do on a draft, but boy, it really makes sense when I'm videotaping this, making YouTube videos, that I make those super dark so you can see them online as well. And so that is the name of the game. And again, at this point, you guys are getting pretty good at drafting. And what you should start to notice is that we're trying to give you a complete skill set here, how to draw something that's round, something that's flat, something that's squared. We're trying to give you all those skills. So when we say, hey, draw a CO2 card, draw a shadow box, draw a napkin holder, draw a rocket, all those things are real easy for you because you have all these skills. You just have to apply them. So I just have kids like, oh, I'm not a big fan of drafting. But once you know how to do it, it's one of those things that kind of sticks with you a long time. So be patient. What you're noticing now is I am using those circles that are in my front view to locate where the hidden lines would be showing something hiding in my top view and in my end view. Okay. And so I'm just going from my front view to my top view right now. And what those dotted lines show is something's happening there. It shows the hole going through, and this shows a hole going through. And if you want to get really fancy, this is something I do. You don't have to as a middle school kid, but I like this. And what I do is I start outside, I come in, and what that line does is that shows me that that is the center of the circle. I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'm going to show you. And that, so if people need to measure out how far those circles are, they have it, okay? So it looks a little different. Let's kind of go a little bigger and see if that makes sense. So you can see where the center of the circles are. I'm going to bring this one back just a little bit this way. I didn't quite get that centered, and that will drive me nuts. It's just me being crazy, but, you know, I am who I am, right? Okay, so front view, top view, end view. Time to throw some measurements on here. And I will tell you, remember my centers here? I'm going to use those. Those lines. No, I'm not. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to tell you from the center here. So I'm going to put a 1/4 inch there. I'm going to stick away a 1/4 inch there, put a couple extension lines. And this is 1.5. I'm going to use an arrowhead here, an arrowhead here. And then I'm going to come tell you that this is from here to here. And I could have done this on the top. Either one would have been perfectly acceptable. I'm going to come in and say from here to here is 1.5. And remember, you don't want to put duplicate measurements on. Putting duplicate measurements on is just as bad as not putting enough measurements on, okay? In drafting world, they frown on that, okay? All right. So I'm telling you how wide the whole thing is. So that tells me how wide that is and how wide that is. I've told you the distance between those circles. If I come in and give you a cool little, from the center of the circle to there, and I could put the radius right inside here if I want, or I could kick it out like they did there. I think what I'm going to do is kick it outside like they did because I think it'll look better. So all I do is go there, and then I'm going to put, I'm going to say 1 1/4 inches, and I need to tell you that that's radius, and that's a little crowded. I should have scooted it over a little bit. I still can. I can move it around if need be. What else do I need to? Oh, I need to tell you the size of those circles. And again, I can come over here, and I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to go here and here, and all I've done is put 2 little marks that have arrowheads. And again, you can do this a bunch of different ways. as long as it notes that circle is 7/8 inch diameter. And so for diameter, I'm putting a circle with a line through it, which also tells us that we're talking about diameter. And I think that will get us what we need, okay? So we have the 4 measurements that are on there that we need to have. I think that looks pretty good. Hey, I hope this helped you draw number, what is this, 32, 3 view. All right? Hey, thanks for coming.